Hello. My hair is getting long enough to put it in a ponytail. I've been thinking a lot about self-image, um, kind of related to my last video, like how I see myself. I know it's something that I have problems with. Uh, I'm in the Enneagram. I'm a 6, and that's what I relate this to some extent. Um, I have like a push to, I don't know, to define myself or to only see myself based on other people, how other people see me, or how I'm um, similar or different to other people, or just like only based on objective standards, I guess. Like those are the things that make sense to me, and I don't have a very well defined subjective sense of myself. Um, it's like I understand or realize things about myself, like I am married, I am like about average or slightly below average height for a woman. Um, I'm an ex Jehovah's Witness. Like, to me, these are all just, like, even being female, to me, they're just subjective, like, just facts. Like, that's just what you call it when um, I have two X chromosomes and female body parts, and so that means I am a girl, or that means I'm a woman. It's like, that's how I tend to understand things. That's sometimes as far as I tend to understand myself. Um, I don't have a very good understanding of myself. And, like, it's like, in some ways I do. I, it's not like I don't remember myself, but I don't know. It's strange. It's like, I only know how to see myself um, in the third person almost. And so, in situations where I put myself in another person's perspective, I can see limited views of myself from what I project another person's view is. Um, or if I feel that certain parts of myself, if I view them as a separate person, like concepts of like inner child or personality archetype uh, separations or something, there are some different structures like that think about things in those ways, and those make sense to me. Um, but to see myself, like, I don't know. I guess I find it very confusing. Um, I feel like at different points, I'm almost obsessed with like trying to express myself or trying to see myself, like taking a lot of pictures of myself and um, trying to talk about myself a lot because I feel like I feel like I'm invisible for some reason. It seems like other people don't feel that way about themselves. But I don't know. Like intellectually, I realize um, that's in a certain way that's kind of what the ego is like. um, Identifying with your ego means that you don't analyze it necessarily, and that it maybe is kind of unconscious, and it's kind of like you're looking out from yourself as as an ego or something, and so because it's like your starting point or your point of reference, like your point that you judge everything else on, it's difficult to look back at itself because it doesn't seem like anything. It's I don't know, that concept makes sense in my mind, so maybe that's part of it. Um, but I feel like a self image should be the image of yourself viewed by yourself, and I don't understand quite how to do that. I find it, I don't know. Maybe I was taught not to do that, which, like, if someone has a natural sense of it for some reason, being taught not to might not completely inhibit them, but um, if I'm already have trouble with that, then being taught not to would just reinforce that. Um, I feel like in my religious upbringing, like, I was taught that my opinions basically don't count. Uh, my views don't count, and that, like, I basically, you have to make yourself agree with God. If you think what God thinks, then you're a good person and you make him happy and everything. And if you don't think what God thinks, then you have to you have to, like, be sorry about it, and you have to try to change yourself into being how he wants you to be. And so it's like, I don't know, I've always been very obedient. I mean, that's another Enneagram 6 trait, is both being um, really obedient and then being really rebellious, like having a double nature like that. So I know that I have both aspects, but the obedient side, that's something that made me always try to live up to standards like that. So, uh, being told, like, do your best to, like, change everything that you think into what we're telling you to think. I was good at that, at least good at um, repressing my own feelings and opinions, and just changing them into something else, or replacing them with something else, or rationalizing them into what I was told they should be. Um, so I feel like that has had a really negative impact on me. my personal growth and my mental health, emotionally, hasn't helped me individualize myself, hasn't helped me grow stronger as a person, or as an adult. You know, makes me feel, it just makes me feel disgusted at being taught that, being taught that kind of stuff and being treated that way. And sometimes I think about my family that are still witnesses, Jehovah's Witnesses, um, and if I wonder, like, if they ever secretly watch some of my videos. They're public, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did sometimes. I just imagine them watching this and rationalizing it, as to how I'm wrong, or that I'm skewing it or something, but it just makes me sick. Like, makes me sick for me to be treated and taught these ways, for me to be damaged by it, and then just to be devalued and like invalidated about it. But I also feel bad for them because I know what it's like. So I don't feel like I can hold it against any of them, because I feel like it has to be more about, like, it's worse for them that they're still in it and that they're still being treated that way. And I think that's more important than however they might treat me about it. So, yep. So, trying to consider more about my self-image. Um, it's strange because when I was a lot younger, I never felt that self-conscious about my looks, um, like my body type, or anything, and um, I always felt really, like, I felt like people told me a lot how they were jealous of how I looked, or that I had things that they wanted, like boobs and like a flat stomach and shit like that. Although my stomach is not very flat anymore, but I still have lots of boobs. Um, but I feel like, I don't know, I guess it's just something that people have to go through at some point in their life, and not not going through it when I was younger, or when other people went through it, has not saved me from having to go through it, or having to feel uncomfortable or insecure about my body. And um, I feel like I'm working out, uh, not working out. I'm not working out, but I feel like I'm trying to figure out, um, balance between accepting myself how I am, and also realizing, like what are okay things for me to do to better myself. Um, I mean, emotionally, and the way I treat people, and the way I think, I always keep trying to make those parts of myself better. Does that mean I'm not accepting myself? I don't think so. I mean, I guess in those areas I can be that way, but those are areas that make more sense to me, to try to accept myself how I am, but not that's not an excuse to be unhealthy, or um, I don't know. I guess I just feel like I have a clear idea about those things, about how I feel about those things, and what's right and wrong to me. And physically, like my looks, I don't have a clear idea, and I feel awkward about it. I feel like I'm trying to go slow with it and work through all the negative um, feelings and concerns that I have about how I look, and um, not rush too quickly to fix things or change things about myself that make me uncomfortable. And even though it's, you know, what I do to look better compared to the average person seems like barely nothing. You know, I like, my biggest effort is like washing my face and friggin' showering so that I don't look like have pimples everywhere, or I don't really get very smelly, so that's not really a concern either. Which are just things, again, that make me feel, I feel childish for feeling the ways that I do when I don't think that I have anything to complain about. And I've always felt like I had a lot of what people want. Um, Even though it wasn't necessarily important to me, I guess I just used it as something to feel good about myself. Um, I don't know, so. It's weird being a person. Yeah, so I guess it makes sense. I it's just partly it's kind of about priorities. Like I feel like it's important to me to have priorities that make sense to me, and just because I feel that other people may judge me or not find me attractive, like because, or I don't know, just because I feel that the other people may feel negatively about me when I don't follow their rules, like shaving my body hair or wearing a bra and shit like that. Or even like more conventional stuff like um just like wearing makeup, having the right glasses for my face shape, having a fashionable hairstyle or stuff like that, which is stuff that means even less to me. But um I forgot what I was saying. Trying to stay calm and have an honest video that's not me, like, just anxiously worrying about how many pauses I'm having and using the right words and stuff. Anxiety. I ordered some tarot cards off the internet today. They're really cute, and I think they're out of print, and it was the only deck that I could find that's available. And it said they're the last one, so I don't know if they'll print them again or if there are more out there somewhere, but they should be pretty unique, and um, I was anxious about buying them because they were $65, and I just I don't know, I just get anxious about conserving resources and spending money on myself. I don't want to be like selfish, and I don't want to be wasting things. And part of me is like a real hard ass about shit like that, like about cutting down to like what do I really need, and not letting myself do anything that I like. Like, I have that part of myself, and I have had really bad finances in the past, um, really bad situations in the past. So I suppose like at a certain point in my life, it might have been more necessary for me to be harsh with myself like that. But um, things aren't quite like that anymore, and I do believe that if I'm going to maybe make money for myself or um, accomplish more, I have to let myself live too. Like, I don't think being strict and to in a way that is negative for me, like mentally, emotionally, and just like the messages it sends to myself, like about me not mattering. Like, I don't think that doing things that create those kind of messages and create that feeling of being like not existing again, like not being allowed to need anything or want anything or have anything. I don't think those things are healthy for me, and I think that if I can treat myself well in a reasonable way, that I, like invest in myself, then I can have more to give. And I know that that's important. I feel like that makes sense and is true and is right for me. So, I feel pressured about how long this video is getting, but it seems like some people are watching some of them. Part of me is like, you should just make it however long you want. But then part of me is like, realistic and, the glare in my freaking glasses and and the fact that uh, most of my subscribers are here just like because I made those twerking videos, even though it was a totally random thing that I did. If I get into that, I'm gonna get irritated. It does kind of aggravate me how some of you guys think that it's like up to you and that I don't get a choice in whether I shake my butt for you or not. Like, that's kind of aggravating. uh, you know, I don't belong to you. I belong to myself, and I don't have to do anything for you. Doesn't matter how many people want it. You know, I appreciate there have been a few people that are have been a lot more respectful, which is a big deal to me. Like, I really appreciate that. It makes me feel a lot better to have you guys are that treat me like I'm a person. I feel like I've given a lot of personal information about myself in these videos, and you know, I feel like only the most self-absorbed retard like could not realize I'm a person and I'm not just an ass on here. And it's like I'm not that I'm um like I'm okay with someone not caring about me or not caring who I am when they're just freaking looking at my butt video. Like, I don't expect those people to be like really care about me, but just it's like the rest of the stuff is personal and it's just me expressing myself. This is a channel with my name. It's like there's a bigger picture here about me as a human that is like sharing myself here. Um, and like fine if you don't care, but I don't know. Just everything's not about you. Everything's not about you and what you want. And holy shit, like there have to be tons and tons of other videos you could watch with someone's butt. Like, why are you here like harassing me about when I'm gonna show you my ass next? Like, just watch the video over again or go see someone else's ass. It's like I thought about making more videos because I thought that it was funny, and I thought that it was fun, um, and as like a way for me when I've gained weight and my ass is bigger. It's never been this big, you know, not that heavy, but for me because I've always been underweight when I was younger. So, I was just like doing something fun with it and making myself feel good about it. And, it's just kind of tainted now. It just doesn't motivate me to do something that was fun for me because like a bunch of people are just like telling me what I should wear and how I should do it and how much they like it. Like even though I appreciate positive feedback, but it's just like I don't know. I feel like some people in particular have been really hard-headed and gross about it. And even though like I know that like the kind of comments and responses I've gotten compared to other places on the internet are like amazing. I'm not getting like rape threats. I'm not getting like really, really graphic shit. No one's even like saying anything about actually having sex with me. They're just like saying, only things basically that I already did in the video, but just telling me like shake it faster and shit like that. And so like I realize that that's tame and that it's probably ridiculous for me to complain about it, but you know, I'm not I'm not setting any mandates for all of mankind, and I'm not saying that like maybe some people are fine with it or that anyone's doing anything like objectively wrong. I just don't like it. I'm just not. It's like this freaking channel with me just talking and sharing my feelings is about my feelings. So if my feelings are I don't like it, then that matters in this situation. That's all I think. So yeah. This would probably have a greater impact as a video if I had that part separate and shorter so that, people who, the actual people who are doing that might actually get to this part in the video because like I doubt that they watch all of these when they, every time it comes out and they're just like, "Oh, you're talking again. When are you gonna shake your butt?" Oh, and it's like I was really nice about it at first because I don't blame anyone for just communicating about it, but I know I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it, and you know, I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to do it, okay? Uh, so I don't know if I will again. Maybe I never will. But that's why I made a separate place, a separate channel, so that if I do it, it'll be on there. Like everyone who is just looking for butt videos and doesn't care about what I'm saying and just wants to keep telling me how much they want to see my butt, like, they should just unsubscribe from this channel because that's not what this channel is about. I don't know how many ways I can say that, and I feel like I've been really clear and really, like, normal about it, I'm not whacking out or telling anyone that they're, like, treating me bad or something, but I just don't like it, you know? So sometimes it's like I don't see myself as a feminist and I don't agree with like a lot of modern feminism, but sometimes it really is kind of shitty to be a girl. It's like I know that women can be just as dicks to men, and I know that, and to each other, and I know that there are some like really aggressive, ridiculous women too that like probably make men uncomfortable in public and other places. It just seems like that's not the norm. I know that it happens, so I don't want to downgrade that. It's just my experience as being a girl, And it's like I I want to wear something comfortable. I wear a skirt that's comfortable and I go to the library and it's like I'm very aware when I walk by some dude and he's just like staring at my ass, And it's not even provocative to me. Computer battery is low. Anyway, it's just tiring sometimes, like, because even though I understand that, like, as a stereotype and in general, like, between the sexes, like, men and women are different, and men think about sex more in general, like, because, like, scientifically, biologically, um, men are fertile all the time, and women are only fertile, like, 1 or 2 days out of a month. And, so I don't know, I just think that says a lot right there. So, like, I get that, and I have, like, compassion for the fact that, like, men aren't choosing to be hypersexual or whatever, it's just, like, true. But it does get tiring, because it's almost like if you've ever, um, hung out in a group or something and other people are drinking and you're not. That's what it feels like, when like a lot of men are all like constantly turned on and I am not always thinking about sex, okay? Like I am not I don't feel that way all the time and so it's just I don't know. It's just weird, especially when not it's not just other people are turned on and I'm not. It's like when people are constantly turned on around you and they're like directing it at you. That's the other part that makes it uncomfortable and it's like, no thanks. Just feels really aggressive and it does feel like being like a freaking prey animal or something. Uh it's just I don't know, it's just tiring. It's just tiring and it's a weird kind of inequality situation that I don't like, unlike idealistic or kind of crazy feminism, in my opinion. I don't actually expect anyone to do anything about it because what are they going to do about it? You know? It's just like a thing that's happens. It's just like a thing that's true. In general. And so I don't have any expectations. I don't have any answers. I'm just saying it kind of sucks sometimes. It kind of feels shitty. So. Alright, this is my all-time longest video, I think. And if you stayed this long to the end, you should post. We should have like an inside joke. Like, I don't know. For you to post in the comments. Okay. I'm thinking something about chocolate chip cookies. If you can like work chocolate chip cookies into a comment, um, that'll be an inside joke that you made it this long in the video. Okay. Thanks.